Mahalo everyone, and welcome to a brand new deck video here on OJ Gaming Channel. You're with me, Joe, and somewhere in the mystical ether might well be Ollie. I'm bringing you here a penguin deck for this festive season. That's right, when you think about the North Pole and Santa Claus, you think about creatures that only live at the South Pole, and the highest they get is actually the Galapagos Islands in Ecuador, which is the equator, you know, they're a full thing. I'm rambling on about ornithological stuff. You want to see the deck. So this has been updated, and we've actually got some pretty cool cards in here. I absolutely love the Great Emperor Penguin. It basically, with a Legendary Ocean, which is in the deck, it becomes a 4-star, so you can just play it straight out of the hand, tribute it to get any 2 penguins from your deck. And one of those, at least, in fact, what I'd usually say, if you open like that, you need to get no penguin to your field, and preferably the graveyard, as quickly as you can. That's kind of your first go-to. You pick up the deck, try and get no penguin in the graveyard, because basically whenever you use any of your other penguin cards, and we've littered this thing full of penguins, he will come back to the field, and when the penguins use their secondary effects, which are mostly bouncing, they'll be banished instead. So you can start to stack up a load of removal, and it can be really annoying. So, key play, getting out either the Emperor Penguin or getting no penguin in the graveyard, and then using some of your other penguin cards. So what are the other penguin cards? So we've got the Nightmarish Nightmare Penguin, 1800 defense, pretty decent, and it bounces 1 card your opponent controls back to the hand, which is nice. Could be spell or trap. We've got the Glacial Beast Polar Penguin, so this can actually do 2 bounces, so this is probably the one I would bring out alongside No Penguin if I'm getting off a Great Emperor Penguin. You can only use No Penguin once per turn, so you don't need to stack up with loads of them in the graveyard, so having things like Glacial Beast, Polar Penguin, there's a bunch of revive cards, and its effect works when it's special summoned, so it's also nice getting one of those in the graveyard. The last penguin card is Puny Penguin, and basically it can be a little bit slow, but when it works it's really nice. So basically when it's flip face up, so this can be after battle, so it's attacked into, you flip face up, it goes to the graveyard, and then you can special summon a penguin from your graveyard, and it can either go into attack or face down defense. So you could set up a bounce with Nightmare Penguin, or you can set up a tribute on your turn with the Great Emperor Penguin. Penguin Soldiers, the double bounce, the classic card from a Joey starter deck, still run right here, I don't know, nearly 20 years later. We've got a couple of support cards, Tin Goldfish, which lets you special summon another copy of the Nightmare Penguin, or the Great Emperor Penguin if you've got Legendary Ocean, which would be pretty cool. And we've got Starboy to boost your water monster's attack. I'd say you can interchange this with some of the penguins in the side deck, depending on what kind of deck you're facing. MISTAR kind of does the role of Starboy in a more kind of modern Link sense. It only takes 2 water monsters, so you can use up maybe your rogue No Penguin. It's appeared from nowhere. Often that's a really good target. Just stick a MISTAR Boy down, and you'll get an attack boost to all of your water creatures. The only monster I haven't talked about is Ash. I don't think we need to talk about it. It's the best card in the game. We've got an array of kind of generic water spell cards, as well as water staples and regular staples, really. So we've got Harpy's Feather Duster, Monster Reborn, and Terraforming to grab the Legendary Ocean. And then the water staples, Moray of Greed, Salvage, and the Aquarium stage, which prevents water monsters being destroyed by non-water monsters. This wasn't particularly useful when Ollie and I had a penguin v penguin duel. However, for the most part, Aquarium stage is actually kind of good. If your opponent doesn't have a way around it, it can really stall them down, and that gives you the time to set up the penguin plays, to get the No Penguin out and to bounce their cards. For For the traps, we've got 2 copies of Scrap Iron, as is often the case with decks on this channel. It's kind of the mascot of the channel, isn't it, Ollie? And I got 3 copies of Infinite Impermanence because it's the best trap card. So we got 3 Imp and 3 Ash. Just, you know, let's get some good cards in this, along with the Penguins. For the extra deck, we've got 3 copies of Penguin Brave, which is a hilarious card in terms of artwork. It looks like it's the start of a kind of 9 to 10-year-old kids TV show. I'd personally like to watch Penguin Brave, and will be pitching it to BBC Two executives next week. The XE's monsters, so because we want to get Legendary Ocean out, you kind of have to think a little bit lower in terms of the XE's. So I've got things like Totally Awesome in here. So that's 2-star XE's, but though we don't have that many 2-stars, we have got Starboy and the Penguin Soldier, we will also have, with a Legendary Ocean, 2-star No Penguin, 2-star Glacial Beast Polar Penguin. So we've got to have a bit more of a spread, so we've got, I think, 3 generic kind of 3-star XE's here in Nightmare Shark, Leviathan Dragon, and Levia the Sea Dragon, and then Armored Kappa and Totally Awesome as 2-star XE's. Here's a little linchpin of the deck. It's quite a nice card. It absolutely has no, well, it kind of fits, but it's not a very penguin-y card at all. But MARINCESS Coral Anemone, it's coral, it's tropical. Let's throw in some penguins to it, and it'll let you revive a water monster with 1500 attack or less and special summon it. And your target is right there, the Glacial Beast Polar Penguin. That's the play you want to be making. We talked about Starboy and Halber's in there because it's, again, completely broken, and I have no idea why it's not been banned yet. That pretty much covers all of the stuff you need to know for the main deck. In the side deck, we've included every other penguin-type card currently in the game. So we have Flying Penguin. It's a very rare penguin. Yes, it certainly is very rare. It's so rare that it doesn't exist. Bald Penguin, which is perhaps even rarer because it attacks with its flailing arms. FLUFFAL Penguin, which is an entirely FLUFFAL only card. I would only ever use it if your opponent might faint if they see a cute monster. So Spiritual Beast Rampengu is one of my favourite artworks in this deck. I love kind of rock hopper penguins, and you know, it's just got that really cool kind of green tropical vibe. Tropical penguins, definitely, they're my kind of thing. Guard Penguin, honestly, looks completely nonsensical. It looks like if a kind of crazed crow attacked a Beyblade. Penguin Knight has a hilarious effect. Its original effect, I've got an old copy down there in my old collection, is just so nonsensically long, and it only works when it's sent from the deck to the graveyard. Yeah, because that's going to happen a lot. Maybe we can make a whole deck just trying to get Penguin Knight off. Penguin Torpedo lets you take control of your opponent's monsters if you successfully attack directly with it, and it can attack directly. And lastly, Twin Twisters for some spell and trap removal, because the deck has absolutely none up until this point. Right, so what you might see after this is some of those plays in action. We should have a couple of duels for you coming up, and that's your deck review. And if you want to see more things like this, then stay subscribed and invite your friends to be subscribed. OJ Gaming Channel.